So a janitor has $8 million, but a very intelligent financial executive goes broke. Well, in Morgan Housel's book, The Psychology of Money, shows that many times financial success does not have to do with intelligence, but instead it has to do with behavior. So who was this janitor? Well, his name was Ronald Read. He essentially bought dividend stocks for over 50 years and never sold. The executive, on the other hand, actually made millions, but ended up losing it through leverage and bad timing. And this is the psychological principle that many people miss. And you may have heard the phrase before, it's time in the market, not timing the market. Ronald Read, the janitor, got wealthy over time because he stayed in the market instead of trying to pick the perfect stocks. And another key principle that you want to consider is how your personal experiences can shape your identity or your success with money more than any textbook or financial course ever could. For example, if somebody were to have grown up in the Great Depression, they might always have the feeling that they never have enough money. Whereas if somebody else were to grow up in a crazy bull market, they might be taking way too many risks that they otherwise should not have done. So another way to think about this counterintuitive truth from the book, that the biggest financial rewards do not always come from math or analytics, but instead how you control your emotions. Because I'm sure everybody has seen or heard of a financial PhD who ends up panicking and sells at the bottom of a crash. But on the other hand, you could become very wealthy in the markets without knowing any math, doing any analytics, but just simply investing month after month and never touching those investments at all. So here's a formula I like to think of for ultra wealth. Automate, think, and build. You want to automate your investments so that emotions don't control you. You want to think in decades and not months. And you want to build your wealth by producing income generating assets. Because as we have seen from this story, sometimes the boring can beat the brilliant.